A kidney harvesting syndicate has lured a 16-year-old resident of Masaka in Nasarawa State to an Abuja-based private health center, Alliance Hospital, where his kidney was harvested and transplanted into one Egbuson Sampson, who is now deceased. Lami Sadiq reports.
This car is a reminder of what Adebayo Oluwatobi, a 16-year-old Nigerian, has lost. The son of a mechanic from a low-income background, Oluwatobi was in February getting set to write the joint admission and matriculation examination when he was recruited for his kidney. The 16-year-old narrates how a friend introduced him to a man called Emmanuel Melody for a potential job. Instead, he was asked to submit himself for a blood test at the Alliance Hospital in Abuja, Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory.
I told the man that my friend now explained to me what I'm here for. He just took me home with. Then the man had told me that I'm here for kidney transplant, which I declined the offer. So the man now offered my friend that we should come and collect part payment. Then after that part payment, we'll go home and go and think about it. Then we'll come back. And then my friend now said that, okay, what if we go and collect the part payment? And I escort my friend, not knowing that it was a setup.
Instead of the part payment, Oluwatobi said he was tricked into getting a court affidavit to say he was 18 years and a nephew to one Egbuson, Sampson, a patient with failed kidneys at the Alliance Hospital. He says he was equally tricked into spending the night in the hospital, but just before midnight, he was urged to sign a consent form. That form will force him to lose a kidney.
The man said, what if I sleep back that it's late, that I can't go home that time, which he now give us a word in the hospital that I should sleep. So when I was sleeping, then I come and wake me that I'm going to undergo the transplant that night. And I gave me some documents. That was the document that my name, I saw everything was on my name and other side, and I signed to the document. Then I take me to. Then I see that they are going to proceed with the operation that night. Now take me to the theater. We then proceed with the operation. I was in theater for 3 to 4 days.
During that time, 61-year-old Saliman Adedoyin said he had reported his son missing.
I became check that in the night, go to where I know that he can move to. When I asked this one, they said they didn't see him. Asked the other one, they didn't see him. Then I had to rush to police station. Maybe they arrest so name. They tell me something, nothing like that. They didn't arrest anybody. I said it's a student in his other age. They said they didn't arrest anybody. I said okay. They said if I see him, I said I come and report that the body didn't come to house. They say if I see any friend house, has not talk anything, has just called them, has just man, they will pick the boy and they pick the friend. We keep him for the house. And now runs to Vigilante, whether you see any small student, they do something, they commit something bad, and looking for my so son. They say they didn't see, make a check around.
As his body struggles to adapt to the use of one kidney, Oluwatobi says he was forced to change hotels after the surgery because he was being threatened not to go back home. The money he received from the surgery, which was to cater for his hotel, was extorted by a gang of youths. Faced with no money, threats of being killed, he was forced to flee from Abuja to Lagos State.
Oluwatobi is one of thousands of people who are lured, exploited, and sometimes coerced into selling their kidneys in the black market. All over the world, organ harvesting syndicates usually target individuals such as Oluwatobi who come from low economic background. In some cases, there are promises of job opportunities, living abroad, and sometimes threats and violence.
As a minor, Oluwatobi cannot make such life-changing decisions, such as donating a kidney, without the consent of his parents. He is protected by Section 48, subsection 2A of the National Health Act 2014, which states that a person shall not remove tissue which is not replaceable by natural processes from a person younger than 18. Section 20, subsection 3 of Nigeria's Trafficking in Persons Prohibition Enforcement and Administrative Act 2015 also criminalizes the enlisting, transporting, delivering, accommodating of a person under the age of 18 for the purpose of removing the person's organ. It prescribes a jail term of not less than 7 years and a fine of not less than 5 million naira for a person liable upon conviction. But the management of Alliance Hospital claimed the hospital is not liable to any wrongdoing, as Oluwatobi had signed an affidavit saying he was 18 years, a relative of Mr. Sampson, and also signed a consent form before the surgery.
He went to court, the High Court, to swear to an affidavit. In that affidavit, he stated that he is 18 years old. He was 18 the September before the surgery. He also stated that he was related to the patient. And he also stated that he was not under any duress and that there was no financial consideration in him donating the kidneys. So having received the affidavit and he signed consent duly, it's like a nephew donating one of his kidneys to an uncle. So we went ahead and did the surgery.
The 16-year-old's original certificate of birth, printed by the National Population Commission and registered on the 17th of October 2006, shows that he was born on the 3rd of September 2006.
Eyes of law, when the both affidavit and birth certificates are being placed on the imaginary scale of justice, birth certificates stand taller because birth certificate, that is a primary document. The essence of affidavits, it is when there is no availability of a document. It particularly in this case is when there is no availability of birth certificates. So the affidavit can stand in place of birth certificates. But as in this case, we are saying we have birth certificates. There's birth certificates explaining that this is the age of this very person.
Kidneys are the world's most sought-after organ, and an estimated 1 million people die each year from untreated kidney failure. The bean-shaped organ is also the most trafficked human organ. In April 2023, Nigeria's former Deputy Senate President, Ike Ekweremadu, was sentenced to 9 years and 8 months imprisonment. His wife, Beatrice, was sentenced to 4 years and 6 months, while a doctor, Obinna Obita, was sentenced to 10 years after the three were convicted for organ trafficking by the Central Criminal Court in London.
Senator Ike Ekweremadu and Dr. Beatrice Ekweremadu.
The judge heard that Ekweremadu, his wife, and the doctor had flown in a 21-year-old trader from Lagos into the UK in a bid to obtain his kidney for the politician's sick daughter Sonia. While Oluwatobi's friend and Mr. Melody are on the run, Alliance Hospital says the recipient of Oluwatobi's kidney is now deceased. But the police has launched an investigation into the incident and arrested Dr. Aremu Adeniran, a staff of the hospital who carried out the surgery.
The case is under investigation at our state CID here, FCT Command, and we are still on it. We are investigating, and you're correct that the doctor was arrested, who is now released on bail. And the investigation is yet to be concluded. We are still investigating that incident. And I'm sure the outcome of the investigation, we are not yet done with the investigation. And the outcome will definitely be communicated.
While police investigation is ongoing, Saliman Adedoyin says he lacks the finances for the lifelong care required for his son's new health status.
To check on ethical conduct in the harvest and implementation of organ transplantation, Medical experts say the Nigerian government should come up with a regulatory agency or a department within the relevant ministry to ensure that organ transplant centers work within the ambit of the law. Lami Sadiq for Trust TV News.